Welcome guys, and we're back with the next one.
Yes guys, and today we have a very special video for you guys.
So you guys have been commenting, where do you guys get these houses? Can we get numbers to some of these houses? We've been searching for months and we still haven't found any of these houses. We're getting DMs as to about tips and tricks. So what have you guys been doing? And we're making this video to share some of the tips, the tricks of what we did to get a rental apartment fast in Jamaica. Consistently, the 2 times we went on our house hunting journey, the first and the second time, we've gotten a rental apartment within 3 weeks. So I don't know if you 3 weeks.
Not too bad.
I don't know if anybody else is going to consider that fast, but that was fast to us.
A bold speed that.
Okay, so since we've done it twice, we're going to share the tips of exactly what we did. So hopefully this will help you on your journey and understand more what needs to be done. You don't give up too easily, because it's a process that will mentally drain you, but it's a process that will be worth it in the end. But I get a nice, new, clean body, good lavish house like we did.
Something that you're comfortable with.
Yes, not in a miserable way.
So people, get out your pen, get out your little paper, take your little notes, because without further ado guys, let's get into the tips and tricks.
Yeah, the first thing you need to know is your budget. Of course, you have to know what houses then we're going to be looking for, what houses we're going to be searching for. So you need to know your budget, whether that's going to be between 20 to 25, and we're going to be looking for houses in between 20 to 25. So
you can go and look for $60,000 house
and your budget at
25. Come on people, be realistic.
Exactly. Alright, don't go look at any other houses that's not within your budget. It's going to be a waste of your time. It's going to be disappointing, because if your budget is 25, you can only get so much with it. And if you go look for a nice lavish 65,000 house, when you go look on us in your budget, you have a one ball. So stick within your budget, look within your budget. Right. But we're going to go back to this tip for like one of our major ones actually. The next one is number 2. So after you know your budget now, right, what you need to do next?
Look for your place.
Exactly.
Yes.
You have to find a house then.
Not too bad. They can't sit down and say, Jesus, send a house, come now.
Exactly. So after you know your budget now, the next thing you need to do is you're going to be looking for rental properties. And the tips that I advise you to do to find these houses is, firstly, you need to talk about it. You need to tell people, because you have people that live beside rental apartments that are probably vacant and they know the owner, the landlord. You have persons that actually have good links, and people actually talk a lot. So it would be help if you actually let people know that you're on this journey, and see if they can help you with any possible listings.
And as in people, meaning your friends, co-workers, if you go church, your church members, people who you talk to, people who you're close with. You can tell them to keep an eye out for a place within your budget. You can give them, like, say you're looking for a house 20 to 25, you can tell them to look out for a place within that price range. Alright, so continue there.
And then the next thing now, there's actually this, well, I wouldn't say it's an app, but I kind of use it like it's a
website.
Yes, a website, and I pinned it actually onto my screen, my home screen on my phone. But it is called Jamaica Online Classified. What I would do is get the website, pin it on the home screen, as I said. Then you're going to put in the specifics of what you want. So first you're going to go underneath. I don't exactly remember if it is a house or a property. Then when you go in there, you have a different sections you would fill in. You would either fill in that you're looking for a rental property other than sale. Then you would put in your price budget, which would be maximum of either, let's say, $40,000. Then you put in the location where you're searching, which would be St. Catherine. And then you give your options you give your options in your budget and your location as well. That was helpful. That's where we actually found. That's through where we actually found our first rental apartment. Although it was crashes, but that's where we found our first rental apartment. It was a good space. It was a good start, nevertheless. Right. And onto the ultimate one, which I think is the best way to find a rental apartment. This is what I truly believe in, and not I wouldn't even say it would be a realtor, because honestly, when I started my journey with a realtor, and I contacted about, let's say, 4 to 5 realtors, none of them came through. We contacted them, it's like we're talking to them, and it's like, wait, who are you? We message them, they're not getting back to us. We call them, they're like, okay, we'll get back to you. They never do. We email, nothing came through. And honestly, the experience that I have with realtors, I would honestly tell you guys, put your faith in your own hands. Actually, like, do most of the work with yourself, and actually, incorporate probably families and friends that probably would have more interest in what you're doing right now. But as I said, the ultimate to me is the Gleaner. And so that's where everybody knows to list their products, and that's where everybody knows to actually, we call it, to go look. So it's like a hub. It's like if you have a property on the market, that's one of the first places people are going to go to list it. So that's the best place to actually to go and look for it. So don't just get the Sunday Gleaner, get both the
Saturday and Sunday Gleaner.
Exactly, because sometimes you wouldn't know this, because like many people only focus on the Sunday Gleaner, but you have rental properties that come in the Saturday Gleaner, which when you call on Sunday, you wonder why or how. Like it's 7 o'clock, you're calling early before your church starts, and you're wondering how the apartment or the rental property itself is gone already. That's because it has been in the Gleaner from Saturday first, actually. So you're going to get a Saturday Gleaner. Make sure everything has to be done early, guys, because if you're looking for a place, there is 100 other person looking for that same place just like you. So you have to be on top of your game. Get up early, go and walk to or drive to the nearest gas station or wherever you know sell the Gleaner. You get it. So when you get a Gleaner now, the next thing for you to do is you need to have a system. It keeps you organized and kind of make the thing less frustrating on it. So what we would do, or what I would do, is I had a booking and we went through the Gleaner and to see what was in our budget. So what we found in our budget from the first look through and we liked it, or at the location or whatever wise, we would tick it in. We go back and we call each of them. One that we got through with was still available, and the landlord never give you red flags, because landlords can give you red flags. Don't just feel like it's the other way around, because some of these landlords themselves, they're kind of unreasonable, and they just don't give you a good experience just being over the phone. Like, you don't even see the place yet, they're telling you to send all of this personal information, and you don't even know that you want the place. It just seems so bombarding. Like somebody goes to calling and say, hello, what's your work, where you working, how much money I make, who are you, like, when is the place available for viewing? No, not today. And they want all information. I'm like, okay, thank you, and hang up
and move on.
Exactly, because if they're going to behave this way, you can just imagine how they're going to treat you, what kind of standards they're going to hold within you and yourself. It's just, that's a good vibe already, so just move on from it.
Yep. And if you're anybody like Shadika, you will have experiences where you call somebody and they will answer the phone like, hello. Like, you don't want them landlord there? No, you don't want them landlord there, God no.
Exactly, you want someone that sounds friendly, someone that sounds respectable, professional. Because that's how they work. Because regardless of it being a home or a house that you're going to live in, you're still conducting business. You're still paying somebody monthly, and you're still expecting somebody to uphold their part of the deal, which is to provide a secure location, but the roof and the dwellings itself is properly functionable. Water flow through the pipes, them not bust out, lights
and the
on.
place don't pop down.
Exactly. So you need to have someone that you can speak to when dealing with the rental properties overall. And as I said, guys, when you have your system, going back, because I'm kind of going off cue. So I would have my book, and based off of the numbers I've called and we got through with, so I would write down the address or anything familiar in the newspaper, write down any direction that's given to us, and the phone number, so we don't necessarily have to work with the Gleaner, although I still do. So I would do that for each of the houses then for that day that we're going to search for, and that would be the system that I would have. So call the numbers, whoever we get through with, write them down, write down whatever location, the address and the directions to the place, and that's the houses that we're looking at for the day. So get them off. If you want, you can go as far as to probably put jottings to what you liked or what you didn't like about the house, but I had a phone we call it videoing the memory of the journey, so I didn't really need to do that. Plus 1, 2, whoever did that with the day, so a whole heap of witness to tell we say, alright, this did nice, we never like this about the place. But you can write notes, especially if it's by yourself. The next thing now, what you guys have to keep is you have to be consistent, and you cannot get discouraged, because you'll be looking Saturday, Sunday for every week, then you're constantly getting some no's. You look and you see some crappy places, then the nice places that you're seeing, they're out of your budget. It gets discouraging and draining, because there's even time where my mother didn't even want to go for the cleanup because it was just so depressing. So what she would do, she go and she just give me. So that's why I end up doing most of the bulk of the work, because it kind of got to her as well.
Yeah. Alright, so guys, if you have not seen our house hunting journey, we will put them as end cards in this video, so you can go and check them out to know what exactly Shadika is talking about when she says that the places are crappy and they no clean up the place, make it look good for you to come in and view it. So you can see all of that in the playlist of videos that we'll put at the end. So you may continue, my dear.
Yeah. So as I was saying, you have to be consistent and don't get discouraged. You're going to get no's. You're going to see places that are within your budget, but they're just not comfortable. And then you may see places that are a little bit too much. And they're just perfect, but they're not perfect because they're not perfect for you because it's just within your budget. And then the next step now, guys, I know it's a bit much, but I'm trying to make it as much detail as possible, because I don't want you guys to come in the comments and say I did not understand this. Although you guys still should if you don't, but I'm trying to make it as clear. I'm trying to make it as clear as possible. So I'm giving you all the details of what we went through and what you need to know.
So if you're not clear about something, just comment down below and we will try our very best to answer your questions as professional as possible.
That's right.
So continue there.
Alright, the next one is to walk with necessary documents. So I don't mean to carry everything like birth paper, all them stuff there. No. You know, when you're usually renting a house, especially if you're not new to this, or if you're not new to this, there are specific things which be like, you know, pay slip, ID and those stuff. So what my mother would have, like printed documents of certain things like her pay slip, a driver's license, and it shows that you're professional, you're not all over the place, and it shows that you're really interested. And then, you know, if you're that, you know, interested to carry your things, that means you probably would do business with them in that manner as well.
It shows that you're professional.
It shows that you're professional.
And you can bring them, like, there are a lot of persons who view houses after you or before you, so it would be nice if you could bring those documents and give them copies of them, so that they, in case the persons before or after don't give it, they have yours.
And then exactly, and then the tip that he gave, because the fact that they have yours, their mind will be more thinking of you. Their mind will be more on you because they actually have your documents, you know. So it'll be easier for them to see certain things already. And then a lot of times, landlord gets a lot of people, so some it's so hard that they might be just clean through, and some people just get by, you know, in the cracks. So having these documents with you, it kind of like, you know, pinning the mind of the landlord, and as well as it already give you the documents. You don't necessarily have to go back and do this.
And most of the times, the landlords remember either the first persons that came or the last ones that came. If you are not the first or the last, it is good that they have these documents before them to look at, and them say, oh, Shadika Wilson did come and XYZ. So that is why we say always have those documents on hand to present to them. And
some of these landlords, you know, on their documents, and probably jot down things quick enough to say, alright, she did nice, Curtis and them something here, and them have them thing ready up about you. Just from my experience I'm talking about, and everybody stays. So
yeah.
The next tip that I have is to ensure that when you're on the search, that you're in proper attire. Nobody just go there with the battery rider, people. I don't know say people love the battery rider, but you know, please.
And time out, we know the time out, but
we know. But at least one look at shots like me the inner some of my video them. One look at nice shots were almost, you know, come decent, look decent. Man, I tell you to cover like holy Mother's Day, Mary will come head to toe, but look respectable. Look, if you can look professional, right, that's not really necessary, because look help on houses, but just come properly attired and come with a good attitude. Don't bother to go house hunting and then your attitude is disrespectful, it is just like you're not patient at all, you're just antsy and you're just displeased with some of the, I guess, the things them which are probably minor, which can be, you know, fixed or would be fixed. So you have to be careful with some of the things that you say or what you do, especially if you're interested. If you're not interested, just take yourself and leave. Just leave, no matter waste your time.
Yeah.
Or do the courteous thing like my mother did, was to be like, you know, we keep in touch and skedaddle.
Right. But I give no phone number, no nothing if you're not interested.
Just skedaddle.
We will keep in touch. Goodbye.
Yes. So, and after, you know, you make sure you have your attitude right, you know, you come with people that make them like you. You have to, and that's the thing, you know, you have to make them like you. Because a lot of the times they're not doing it based off who can pay. A lot of us can pay. A lot of us can pay. But they want to entrust, because it's their home, you know, at the end of the day. If they do decide that they want pack up, if they want to pack up and come to them house, they can, although, you know. I'm not giving you guys worry. They want to know that the house is left in proper shape. Because even if they decide to sell the house, they don't want somebody who just pop it down, break it down, and by the time they come back to sell it, it's so much work that needs to be done. It's like they regret the process of choosing you. Yeah. So they you want them to like it. That's it. They come with a nice attitude, come look nice. Yeah. Alright, then the next tip now is it's actually for Orient to bring out.
I love this tip.
You have to bring somebody with you, or you yourself need to adopt a characteristic that is very okay, that you can say it that way. Or inquisitive, or very, as you would like to properly say it, observant.
Yeah.
And tell them why it's important, my dear.
Yes. Alright, you don't want to go to the house and you say, alright, everything look nice, the landlord decent, but you not observant, you not fast and nosy. This is the neighbor them overdo all the neighbor them have one big up sound system string up outside, and nice that right there. So don't think them string it up there so for the sun dry it never wet and nice. Yeah, you have to nosy and see certain things and make sure you say when you see them things you point it out to the landlord, and if they assure you that it won't be an issue, probably you can tread along if it is on the property. If it's not on the property, you know, say that I red flag that. So if you like nice, cheers to you. But if you don't like nice, run.
Run.
Yeah, run.
Yeah, so that is actually it's a really good tip, because that's one of the reasons we had issue with our first rental property, outside interference, and it's a lot of reason why people have to move, because they come into situations where you on the outside or on the inside it looks decent, right? You don't have any problems with the house itself, the structure, but the community or the neighbors make it a living hell. Like I mean, where we are right now, it is so good, I love it. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean.
Nice, drink bang them. No,
it's not something where it's unbearable. It's quite it's livable with, and anywhere you go you have noise, you know. But with enough person, they sort that out for you and them tell you, so and you decide. Cause you are enough person, you know how you worrying. But say people, when I came to this house and I loved it and everything, you know, I did not realize that the house next to us was unpainted and everything. At the video go back and look. I saw, I'm seeing, or when we're moving, actually recall.
And I was telling her that there was an unpainted house beside us, and she said, no, unpainted doesn't matter. Something say, really? And we said the house across the street look like say little, you know, little music I go play, little nice I go make. Nice did I make. Me go fast and night people them good up Christmas tree outside where I grew and book up and was.
That's true, but that's when we already had gotten the place though.
Yeah, that time we did get the place. But no, we never get the place yet. It was on the day we go fast up on that tree and see the wasp there.
No babe, when we came back to get the keys.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
That's when we found it.
Yeah, but at least it wasn't too late. It could have been fixed.
Yeah, we fixed it, cause like you saw in the moving day video, you guys better watch that.
Watch that.
You rectify the problem.
You see me in a DIY was sold up under there. Yeah, man, me get rid of them. So anyways, on to the next point, my dear.
And the next thing is people, this is very important. It's important to your sanity as well. You need to have realistic and suitable expectations for your budget. And people, please, it is very important, because as I said, you get discouraged and disappointed. So if you have a budget of 25,000, do not expect to see the Buckingham Palace when you go into that rental property. Now expect to see no pool, now expect to see no 2-story. It's a 25,000, which realistically means you're going to get a 1-bedroom, which most of the ads will already tell you what you're to expect. It's going to be a 1-bedroom, which is probably on a shared property, patch up on the back or upstairs. Or you'll probably have a studio apartment which has never been touched since it actually has been built, like not even paint touch on it. So yeah, so you have to know what your price range can actually afford you. It actually will help with local sanity, because if you look expecting to see more than what you have, you'll always come back disappointed. So know what your budget can afford, and have the realistic expectations towards it.
Yes guys, so now for the next and final
tip, which I would deem to be one of the most important tips. Well, most important, or the one that actually helps you to get a place fastest. But anyways, let me give you this important tip. Actually, it's what helped us the 2 time to actually get these places. And it was us being able to be flexible with our budget. Realistically, the higher you go with your budget, the more likely you'll be able to find somewhere sooner, because one, more people are going to gather at the cheaper houses, because if you have money, you want somewhere cheaper, so that means it's more competition and less likely that you'll be chosen out of the bunch. So when you go up a little bit more, you'll be able to have less competition, and you'll be able to get more of what you actually would want or expect. And I know many of you cannot afford to go around with your budget, but some of us can. We just do not really know how to budget properly, because some of us waste money on actually buying fast food every day. Even with your light bill, we're very conservative with that. We buy things that are low energy, we call it usage. We plug out things when we don't need it, like under them. If we're sleeping, we plug out this, we don't use it within those time, and it adds up to save you that extra probably $2,000 or $5,000 a month time that you can actually put on the rent and get somewhere more comfortable, or something that is much more what you want, which is much more fitting to your personality, to your sanity, to your everything. And that's what we did the 2 time that actually helped us to get where we wanted much faster. We were able to rearrange our budgets and add on a little bit more that needed, whether that had to be $2,000, $1,000, or even $5,000 to do. So I know this is not something that everybody can do, but the ones that can do it, it will help you to get that place faster.
Yes, because if you look into it, there will be more most likely things that you can cut back on. Because if you're in the living room watching TV, the kitchen light doesn't need to be on.
No, your bedroom fan don't need to
be on.
Your bedroom fan don't need to be plugged in. Your TV doesn't need to be plugged in. You can have an energy efficient.
The TV in your room, because you're in the living room and watch TV.
Yeah, so if you have TVs in your bedrooms like that, if you have a radio, it doesn't need to be plugged in if you're watching the TV.
Because a lot of people think that when the things are off, it's not burning electricity, but once it is plugged in,
it's still drawing current.
It's drawing current, same way, and JP say, yeah man, dry. Yeah, so just plug them out if they're
and even changing your light bulb to LED instead of, because it even burns less than the fluorescent bulbs, and of course the incandescent bulbs. So even those small tips will help you to rearrange your budget. And some of us buying these expensive appliances like the fridge and those stuff, what sucks current a lot. You can get yourself, especially if it's just yourself, you can get yourself a nice energy saving refrigerator that sucks less current, and you get a little guard with it, or the little timer. These things help you save money, and I guarantee that extra $5,000 way dash around one time, you just see back in your pocket, or you can get somewhere else nicer.
Or you can even save it.
You save it depending on how much you're able to rearrange. Some people, by doing these tips, they save $10,000 a month time. You really and truly don't know how much money you're wasting until you start saving it.
Right. So yes guys, this was our tips and tricks into renting a property in Jamaica or renting a property in Portmore.
Well,
we can speak out of Portmore.
I mean, I would say in Jamaica, because it's just that
it applies anywhere.
Yeah, it's just, or you can probably even apply in foreign too. It just depends on it just depends on what you call it, where you are. So you know, if you're more in the countryside, it's going to be a cheaper budget to get you more or stuff like that. Or in Kingston, you're going to have to go higher. But it's yeah. The tips remain the same. It just like the budget may have to change. But I mean, your budget is your budget. You would know what your budget is based off where you live.
Yep. So yeah, guys, this is the end of the video. So if we didn't touch on a topic that you wanted some advice on,
yes,
feel free to comment it below, guys. We urge you to comment. We like to hear from you.
Yes,
we love hearing from you guys, and we love to reply to your comments. So please leave the comments down below. Please to like this video if it has helped you. Like it nevertheless. Subscribe to our channel if you're new, because help us grow. Yeah, help us grow. Yeah, help us to grow, because we would like to make more of an impact on other people. The same way we are impacting you right now. So if you like the video, please subscribe, share, like it, and tell a friend to tell a friend.
I mean, doing something simple as to just click the link and say, hey guys, this video helped me, you should go watch it too, and we put it on your social media or even your WhatsApp. Yeah. That goes a long way to us, guys.
Yes, guys. So thank you for watching this week's video. We love and appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your support. See you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye, guys.